Welcome back to another episode of my Ultimate Iron Man. Today I am just freaking right in the thick of it at Caliphate Queen. Thankfully not missing my specs. Two specs. Oh, this is gonna be good. It's a good day. But yeah, Caliphate Queen. If you missed last episode, Caliphate Queen is what I was doing before. The Wilderness update came out very recently, and of course, in addition to some, I think, fairly well-received Wilderness bosses, I of course don't participate in the Wilderness much myself, or at all really. But based on what I've seen online, it seems generally well-received, I think. I know always, like, they make, split-second changes to drops and stuff rather than waiting them out, which can be annoying for sure, especially if you get in there early and then get those big drops and suddenly now they're not so big. But I like to trust Jagex and think they for the most part know what's good for the game. But anyway, much more relevant to me, they added the Dragon Pickaxe to Caliphate Queen, and it's a 1 in 400 drop. And I did not even 20 kills last episode and already got it. I got it at like 150 something, I think. I've done a couple kills already since the end of that episode. But yeah, still don't even have the tattered head for the Elite Diary yet. So we cannot, fully say we are done with Caliphate Queen, and that's why I am back here. I don't obviously need to do it, and it'll be a second before I can even finish the Desert Elite Diary if I do get the head, but I just, mentally, I was prepared to do Caliphate Queen, so that's what the plan is, at least for now, in this episode. I always love my luck whenever I decide, like, this is the kill I'm going to start recording on, and nothing happens, and then, like, 2 kills later, you go ahead and get the Caliphate Queen head. Again, it is a 1 in 128 drop, so, like, I should have expected it much more than I expected the Dragon Pickaxe, but still, again, I was fully prepared to go to, 256 if I had to. But yeah, that is the requirement we need for the Elite Desert Diary. We have to get it like stuffed and then mounted on a wall somewhere in the POH. I'm sure you all know. I talked last episode about maybe wanting to try and do the Desert Diary. I'll probably hold off. Maybe I'll do like the couple ones I can right now just to make it a little easier. But 95 fletching is going to be the hardest one, I think, or the most time-consuming one. Just because even if I boost, I still have to get to like 91, I think, to do the pie boost. Maybe the pie gives you +5 if you make that. But still, that's quite a few levels. And fletching is just like a boring, like you can kind of do other stuff, but it's always going to be more efficient just to do fletching. If you're just going for fletching, it's going to be more efficient to just do that. So that's a hard one. But, thieving, maybe I'll do a little thieving training. I don't know, thieving is also pretty boring to watch. Oh gosh, there's always like, if I want to do thieving, I want to do a million things. I want to go to Zolra and get the Surf Helm, so, oh my gosh, I don't know. At the very least, I'll go ahead and do the KQ head in the POH. Alright, just double checking, I'm not going to mess anything up here, but yeah, speak to the Caliphate Queen head in your POH. I believe to do that, we need to go build over in this headspace and then do the Caliphate Queen. Oh, and you get a random amount of XP for some reason. I'm not a pure, so I don't mind about getting that. And then 1,000 construction XP isn't nice. That is also freaking huge. I love that. That's awesome. And then we just go ahead and talk to it. How dare you approach the Queen of the Caliphate? I killed you, remember? Alright. A little bit. Oh my god. Okay, a little too much. Okay, please don't kill me. A lot of dialogue there. I just want to see. Yeah, elite task done in the Desert Eye Diary. And as much as I wanted to continue with it, I think I'm going to stop Caliphate Queen here for now. Just because it just doesn't make sense. I should save until I can get the Desert Diary done and actually, have the easy shortcut there to make kills a lot quicker. I think technically we don't really have to kill Caliphate Queen anymore. The pet would always be cool. I think it's the flying version is up there. And also I like the green version too, but they're both somewhat up there for cool pets. I would like the jar too. It would be nice to have that. Honestly, the D2H, I think this is the only way to get this outside of the wilderness, which again isn't necessary, but it is part of the, I think it's this, the Obby Cape and the Bandos boots are a master step, which is just mean we don't like want to store any of those. We're not going to need them for anything else, but it would be nice to have, just another master step stored. So we will be back to Caliphate Queen for sure. And also someone pointed out that one, they were just saying, oh, you can also store your dragon pick in TOA and just go there and get it every single time, rather than doing the stash unit. Obviously, we'd still want the stash unit for the master step sometimes. So it wouldn't be bad to have another dragon pickaxe on the account just to keep in TOA permanently to use for if we're running TOA. So, you know, there's things to get from Caliphate Queen still. But for now, I think I am going to move on. Now, what I'm going to move on to, as far as content-wise, I don't know. I have to have to do some thinking, but not Caliphate Queen, I can say for sure. Decided to run some Gauntlet because I want to get 50 shards so I can make my crystal helm again, because it's going to be a couple things. I got at least 2 things that I know I would like to have the crystal helm for, or the full crystal set rather, I want to do. And I gotta be honest, guys, I tried 2 things of Corrupted Gauntlet, which I have like 260 KC or something like that, and I didn't die, but I had to leave both times. The first time I just tried, I maybe should have known, where like I haven't done Corrupted in a while, but I just tried to do like tier 1 armor, and he had like 150 health left at the end, you know, so I was like, okay, I'll try and make, you know, 2 pieces of tier 2. I think that's the strategy I'd been going for when I was doing most of my grinding, was you get like 5 pieces each of like, you know, bark or, you know, whatever else it is, the ore or whatever, and even then, it's same result, where I got him to about the same damage or health, and then I just had to leave. I was just looking through my runelight settings. There used to be a setting, I swear, used to be able to highlight the tornadoes in Gauntlet, which again, I wouldn't say is essential. Like, I still dodge them 95% of the time, I'd say, but it's not active right now. And I didn't see it in my little thing, so I don't know. Maybe if they like decided that was like too much, like, oh no, you can't do that anymore. That's too useful. Because it really is useful. It really helps, particularly for the ones that kind of spawn within like 1 or 2 tiles of you, where if you see that, because it'll highlight the ground sometimes before it even pops up on your screen, or before you notice it, because it's like the tornadoes are the exact same color as the ground, so it's a little hard to see sometimes. And that just gives you that, like, you know, oh, I can run away right away. Whereas, you know, there are some times where you can try and game it, where it's like, well, it's far enough away where I can get like 1 or 2 more attacks out, where it's like, no, I need to run. But anyway, long story short, I'm just doing normal Gauntlet right now just because I kind of have to, because I guess I'm bad. I just need to learn to get good. But hey, it's only 50 shards, and I figured, like, even if Corrupted gives like double the shards on average, maybe even more than that, like the amount of time it's going to take me to relearn it, apparently, or find a good strategy that works for me, will be too long. So I'll just do these for a bit. I don't mind, you know, doing normal Gauntlet, and you never know, I could end up getting, you know, front page KC or something. Alright, I got my 50 shards, just finished up selling the loot. You see, we've almost got 600k, and we managed to get an elite casket. Always exciting for elite clues. Okay, a decent amount of construction supplies that I don't want to use right now, but then some actual decent alk, so that probably is going to, well, I don't have any alk runes on me, so I'm just going to sell these. But that is going to bring us over 600k, so pretty good trip to the Gauntlet, if I have to say so myself. And now I have to go rebag and get things together. Alright, before we get to the main event, of course, I'm sure you're all well aware, just yesterday the Pole 78 changes update came out, or at least some of them, and one of those was that you can now color your crystal armor. So I've been trying to think what I want to do. Also, the crystals are a lot more expensive than I thought. I thought they were only like 100k. They're 500k per crystal, so pretty dang expensive. I'm only going to do the top and bottom. I'm not going to do the hat because I just, you know, I don't have it. I don't like keep it on my account. At some point I will drop the crystal, you know, once I need the bag space. I just am fortunate I can still keep it now. But I do want to change the top and bottom. I plan to have those for a while. I was trying to think best combinations. I'm also thinking, I think, like, talking long term, I might want to change my Slayer helm sometime, or at the very least, now that I have like the range cape as my range gear, I have some green in there. I got the green from Barrow's gloves. I was thinking about, and hopefully I'll have Pegasian someday. So I was thinking either doing like white to match my bow, or maybe I'll change my bow and match, you know, the green bow with other green. But I think I'm gonna go for the meme. You guys can hate me for this. I saw a post on Reddit about all, like, here's what all the recolors look like, and I think I want to go with the piss color for the for the chest plate at least, because it blends in with the Barrow's gloves pretty nicely, and it doesn't look that bad with the range gear there. And then the bottom is what I'm. Should I just do full yellow, or should I try and change it up or something? I think you got to do the same, top and bottom. We'll go full mustard, and I'll grab. I have to hop though. I'll grab yellow top and bottom. Don't make fun of me too bad, guys. Well, that guy's gonna make fun of me. I gotta leave. Look at him. He's making the same decision too, and he's already got pig Asians. But I actually don't hate this. I don't like. Obviously, the white boots look a little weird. I think if I get pig Asians, that this would really sell this outfit. And also, if I take my hat off, I think it goes with my green. That looks a lot better with just my green hair. I enjoy, just chilling like that. So yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with that. We now get a little variety, a little color, a little individuality to our crystal armor. And if you haven't figured it out yet, I'm gonna do some Phantom Muspa, I think. I'm gonna try a Bofa only method, so not gonna bring any magic at all. I'll link a video in the description, the one I'm using. Multiple people have shown it before, the method, but it's just it's very simple kiting method. You might not even need staminas after the first time you get in rotation, but I'm just gonna have staminas, prayer pots, and ranging pots. And then I'll also probably be on Arceus spellbook, so I can use Thralls, because I still have plenty of house tabs left over from when I was doing Caliphate Queen. So that's the general plan for right now, and hopefully I'll, check in with you once I have a couple KC of that and see how it's going. Okay, this is the setup I'm going for. I don't know if I was just feeling it yesterday when I got the graceful, but I definitely think it will look good with our our normal end game gear. But the white shoes and the plain helmet does not look very good right now. But I don't care. We're the piss gang. It's fine. Just to show you my setup. Both only. I do have some Sapphire Bolts E and a Rune Crossbow just for the Smite prayer phase. I think it's gonna be worth it. It's literally just one switch, one less food, and then you can literally if you get lucky with your specs, you can do you can 3-shot them. Whereas I would spend at least a minute, at least one full minute trying to do it with flicking Smite with just the Bofa before. So I think it'll go pretty well. I might end up definitely want to always have prayer potions. I think I might even need to have a sip, but I think I'm probably gonna need stams too in the inventory just to get started. This video I watched was originally a no hit, at least no melee hit method, so you could have theoretically stayed there for multiple kills. I did just notice in the video though they said it got updated, so it's a little different now. I'm gonna see if it works. I've got some ground markers imported, but I might end up just doing one trip kills and if it works lazily enough, then I'll be fine with it. But it's a method that can work where once you get it down, you don't even need to pray melee because you'll never get hit. So without further ado, let's just hop in there and see how it goes. Well, it didn't feel like it went super well. I also got to get, shake the rust off, get used to it again. But as you can see by PP, I smashed my personal record. I think my last one was 5 minutes, 5.5. So much faster, even with a little bit of mixing up. The method doesn't work super great because what happens is whenever it spawns spikes during a phase change, I don't know if it just got lucky in the video or whatever, but when I watched it, it would spawn on one of the tiles you have to stand on for when you're kiting, similar to Bandos. And then in the video, after the next phase change, the one tile disappeared. So then they could step on it again. But for me, the spikes just stay there. So then you kind of have to try and wing it and just hope you get lucky with rotations and whatnot. But it went, I think if I can get better about summoning my thralls on time, and then, just avoiding hits and stuff. You see, even though I got hit a couple times, I still have plenty of food left. I probably could realistically, also I got hit by the not switching to Mage Prey twice. So if I get better at that, I think I could probably get consistent 2-kill trips, maybe even more. But prayer is probably going to be the biggest thing holding me back there. Well, a little bit of a pro tip for any of you UIMs who might thought you could have been smart like me and gamed the system. I was oh, I got some Dragon Bolts I'm using Mithril Sapphire Bolts, of course. Then I had got some Dragon Bolts. He drops them pretty commonly, or not pretty, but somewhat commonly. And I was well, if I get those, I can upgrade those to Sapphire Dragon Bolts E, you know, get that little extra damage, a little extra DPS for that annoying phase there. I only had to boost +2, which is easy enough for fletching to make them. Little did I know, my crossbow wouldn't be power enough for those bolts. So, yeah, I feel like a bit of an idiot because I wasted a decent amount of time on that. And I also got rid of my old myth arrows, so now I have to go and make more myth arrows and get rid of these. So, just maybe save yourself all some headaches from doing that. And, you know, if you only have a rune crossbow like me, you gotta just stick with the myth sapphire bolts, unfortunately. Well, someone thanked me in the last video for pointing out that your items drop outside of Caliphate Queen's lair if you're a UIM and you die in there, and I will go ahead and point out that if you die in Phantom Muspa as a UIM, your items also just drop outside. So I thought it would be in this chest. Like, I thought this seems like it would be an item retrieval service, but it's not. So yeah, if you're a phony like me and you die because you're terrible at flicking smite, your items will be fine. You do lose stuff if you had anything. I didn't have anything useful at Arno, so it's not a safe death, but it's not in a death storage. So I think I don't want to test this, but I do think you could die here and then die again, and your items would still, you know, just be on the ground. So potentially a new way to death pile? I don't know. Question mark. We'll just smash my PV 319. You see, I've started using the Dragon Warhammer, which I was not doing before. Would definitely recommend for you. And we also got a Frozen Cache, which I will open after this kill because I'm not ready for it. Oh my gosh, this is my first like 3 kill trip, I think. Yeah, 3 kills. A little scuffed at the end there. If you get bad RNG with like the tiles and stuff, it can really mess up this method. But I didn't. My kill before this, I even got closer, 307. I think I saw on the wiki if you beat it under 3 minutes, you get a little like metamorphosis for the pet, which of course we don't even have the pet. But if we ever do get the pet, that would be a pretty cool thing to have, in my opinion. Oh, but I gotta get out of here before this thing spawns. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys a full kill, or maybe most of it. Maybe I'll cut like the mid parts, and I'll do a fresh kill because those usually go the smoothest. Got my Dragon Warhammer equipped. I'm gonna go ahead and activate Piety and head on in here. I will summon my Thrall when I'm up in melee phase, which is actually the worst one, but hey, we got a spec, so that makes it a little better. Okay, 1 spec is pretty good. So then I switch over to my crossbow here, and then I've got these blue tiles are the ones we are running between, and then I'm probably good to take off Protect from melee right here. Well, I definitely am good now because it switched to range phase. And then, of course, I think I explained this in my previous video, but for range phase, you just sit on range, and then when he does that, you want to switch to mage for a second, or else you'll get like corruption, I think it's called, and it just like over time drains your prayer, so it's kind of annoying. And then this is the bit where I don't like getting this phase first because it means more spikes, and it kind of takes him off his rotation a little bit, but I think we should be good here. This, I mentioned this before, the spikes spawning on the thing can kind of throw you off, so you have to start a little bit winging it at some point, but you see right now we seem to be good in it. My Thrall has disappeared. I want to go ahead and re-summon him. I think I might be off. Okay, no, I think we're still good. I'm going to keep Protect from melee up just in case. Yeah, I see, we got clipped there at the end. That also is because we're a little off with our timings right now. When this happens, I kind of just try and keep up with DPS and don't worry too much about, you know, getting the right phases. I also have come to notice, I think these, the plugin, or not the plugins, the tiles I have marked, it's not quite as, you know, scientifically proven as I think, you know, the Bandos method is. So there's going to be some learning here. Magic, I forgot to drink a stamina. We got a magic glass coming. And then I'm going to go ahead and drink some prayer too. Alright, and then for this phase, you can keep shooting him when he's doing this, just as long as you click him, but this spot, this yellow tile here, I think most people call it a safe spot. I think it's like there's like a little bit of a chance one can get here still sometimes, but for like 90% of them, 90, even more than that, like 95 I'd say, it is for sure a safe spot. So you can just stand there and be good to take off your protection prayers and just shoot him a couple times. See, this is when it really kind of gets, it's actually maybe a good method to show how it can go bad sometimes. With, best case, you do sometimes get some runs where you can do this, hit the tiles right and do this perfectly running in a circle and kiting him. But more often than not, it kind of goes this bad way, and you kind of just gotta wing it. Eat up just to be safe, but this should be good enough to get them down to the smite phase. Yes, so he's going to that right now. You're across, but this is a good time to eat up and maybe fill in on a prayer. I turn on smite and then do my best to keep him off kilter, which is a little easier when he did that. There's a weird timing thing where when he attacks with magic, it will be not as soon afterwards. I don't even know what I'm saying right here half the time. That was very good though. Had to do for 2 seconds. And then for this phase, every 4 attacks, they will have spikes come out of the ground, which we might not even see, because I'm doing so dang freaking good. Look at that. That was a pretty clean kill after the fact. Wow, look at that. Ancient Essence is the only important thing. Drops here are very strange, where sometimes you get a ton of supplies and food, and then sometimes you just get 3 things like that. But yeah, that's the general gist of it. It goes pretty smooth. I think this would be a lot better. Having Rigor would just be a lot more DPS if you don't hit your specs. It's not impossible, but the melee phase can be a hassle sometimes if you don't hit your specs. So that's just that's how it's going. And then I actually did a melee one. Let's hope this doesn't suck. Well, look at that. I was planning on ending it on this kill anyway, and I go and get the charged ice because I just beat that in 2 minutes and 52 seconds. That was pretty quick considering I don't even think I hit a spec, and I wasn't even praying Eagle Eye during the smite phase because I was a little low on prayer. But yeah, that just goes to show how, how inconsistent the melee phase is. You can do good sometimes and you can do bad sometimes. I don't actually think I can do anything with this. I think you have to use it on the pet to get it. I don't know if you'll be able to get it back afterwards. But I'll do some research in that anyway. But for now, if you made it to the end of this video, this is where I'm going to end it. Thank you so much for watching. This one has kind of been crazy. It's going back on the clips. I kind of forgot it. I just, going back to KQ, getting the head, or gonna go, but continuing KQ, getting the head again, and then be like, oh, okay, well, still didn't really get to do my boss grind. Then kind of just doing some gauntlet just to try and get, the crystal helmet for this, and that was, fun to get back into that. And I went and did some more bossing, had a lot of fun with the Phantom Mispa, and we're not even done yet. I would like to go at least until 50 KC on this boss. Maybe even more. I would really like to get the upgrade for that, the ancient staff. Although I heard there were some kind of weird bugs, when you died with it, it would delete it or something like that. I think it was even a UIM specific thing. So hopefully that's been resolved with the ancient staff upgrade. But that's probably my main goal here. But also this boss has been, I don't know how much good for, I know it's really good money. You can see it's what, 4.3 mil and 22 kills. A lot of it is this ancient essence, which again, we can't benefit from that much, although maybe we'll get a decent amount from selling these to the shop or something. But you see, if this is GE value is insane from these. But even still, we've gotten some Snapdragon seeds, death runes, and just some little alkables adding up, and then supply runs are helpful for prolonging kills. So yeah, it's a pretty fun boss overall. I am really enjoying it more than I think. I even already liked it in my first experience, but I really enjoyed it now that I can kind of realize that, the BOFA only method, it works, It's going to be tedious sometimes with running around, but I really enjoy it. And I hope you guys did too. So again, if you made it this far, thank you, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. If anyone makes fun of my armor in the comments, I'm going to ban you. It's not allowed.